Hey guys, welcome back to Northeast Connecticut. Danielson with the Comanche. There she is. A lot better day than the last video I shot. Today I brought the truck out here because it's windy. It is beautiful. We might go fly. We have a couple things that we need to do first. I'm waiting on my buddy Pete. Most of you guys might know him from the Northeast Comanche tribe. He runs a lot of the Zoom videos. If you guys haven't checked out the Zoom videos, you really should. Sometimes you could get some wings credits, which is great information. I believe you could get some AMT credits too if you're an AMPIA and stuff like that. We talk about a lot of random things, and it's a great, real good community. A lot of good resources. People from all over the country and other countries visit those Zoom meetings. So if you have questions, concerns, there might be someone in your area that can help you out. It's real good. Typically they run on Thursdays, 7 o'clock. We introduce everybody, kind of a little, catch-up session. 7:30, the topic really starts. But enough about that. Let's talk about what we're going to do today. Well, Pete is supposed to come down here. We're supposed to put some spark plugs in right there. We're going to put her in this bad boy. I like to do preventative maintenance. I don't like to wait till annual every time something happens or something goes wrong. Not that there's anything wrong with this, but I did notice that some of the spark plugs just don't look good. I haven't taken any of them out, so I don't know what the inside looks like, but the outside of them might be a tall tale sign. I will show you that here in just a few. We are planning another buddy of ours who has a hangar. Maybe he'll let us pull his airplane out, put it on the ramp for a little bit. Maybe we can tuck in there and stay nice and warm while we do this. The other thing I would like to try to do, I don't know if it's going to happen today, is I have the intake boots and gasket for the intake tubes. Some of them just aren't in the best of shape, and like I said, I like to not wait till annual. I find that if you wait till annual to get all of your parts and stuff like that, stuff gets back ordered, part shipping is delayed. I know we're past the whole COVID thing, but it still takes forever to get parts. So if you can kind of pre-do it and pre-plan and stuff like that, have things ordered, have things on hand, that way when you get to annual, you have everything you might need. You can't predict the future, but try the best that we can. So I'm going to put this video on pause for a minute. I'm going to kind of get things set up. We're going to open this bad boy up. But you know what? I'm not going to put it on pause. Let's open it up right now. There are some other things that I would like to do. Bought some scat tubing. Not that I needed it, but I think it aesthetically looks better. And like they say, the cleaner, the better, right? So here she is, Lycoming 0540, 250 horsepower, chrome cylinder head. We do have some new scat tubing here, but we're going to replace this one. Kind of got like a real weird waxy feel. There are some nicks and tears in it. There's another one down there. Looks like it's been all band-aid up and stuff like that. So we have some new scat tubing for that. But if you look, some of these spark plugs here and here, they just don't look great. I'm not saying that they're not going to work. They probably, I know that the engine runs great, runs absolutely perfect. We go real fast in this bad boy, but for a peace of mind, I think I would like to change them out. Now, mind you, spark plugs are expensive, but part of the price of owning an airplane, right? There are some things that maybe I could help you make a little bit cheaper, maybe save you some time, save you some money, stuff like that. And that's really what this channel is going to be about. We're going to do a lot of traveling. We're going to do some camping. We're going to do some fly-ins and real adventures. Like I said in the last video, it's normally me, my girlfriend, my 2 kids, and sometimes we bring the Dutch Shepherd. If you know anything about these dogs, it's like having a toddler for the rest of your life. They're go, go, go. But she loves hanging out at the airplane. I will post a couple of pictures of her flying in the old Cherokee 180. Well, that's not good. I will post some pictures and stuff like that of her in the Cherokee. She absolutely loves it. She climbs in the back seat. This one, we're going to do a little bit better job with the sound deadening and stuff like that for her ears and my kids' ears and stuff like that. Even though they wear headsets, sometimes they get a little uncomfortable and the kids like to take them off for a few minutes, all of that. But the vibration typically puts the kids to sleep, which I think is hilarious. There is some interior stuff in here that we need to do. It doesn't look all that great, but we're going to try to fix it up. I do have an interior ordered on AirTech, but it's like a 12 to 14 week turnaround time. So in the meantime, we're going to try to clean that up. I'm going to bring you guys along with that video. So maybe here in just a few minutes, Pete will show up and give me a hand, and we'll see you there. As soon as I shut the video off, Pete shows up. I will tell you that Pete is about as predictable as they get. If he says he's going to be there, he'll be here. And there he is. Everybody look at Pete. So hopefully we're going to get started. We're going to talk about some things, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, we're getting after it. Look at this. The wind is bad. Pete decided that he was going to put a little vice grip, not too tight, to hold the halves up because the wind just keeps blowing it and knocking him in the head. But we can't afford to lose Pete. So we're going to start taking these spark plugs out. Here's a brand new one. Remember, guys, we need this copper washer on there, so when you take the old one out, make sure that one comes with it. My problem. So we got those cracked. Let him see with our fingers. Spit these bad boys out. I've seen a lot worse, but I've also seen a lot better. It is starting to football. I don't have one of those gauges, the go-no gauges for the footballing of them, but you definitely don't want to see them all footballed up like that. Hope you guys can see that, if the camera's focusing or not. Spark plug number 1. We only got a whole bunch more to go. Oh, yep, step water. So I just kind of cinched this one down. I didn't force it. Number 2 looks a lot better. Still some footballing going on there, so they definitely needed to be replaced. So guys, I'm going to put the video on pause. We're going to keep going after this. If we see any anomalies or something that's not right, maybe a super wet spark plug or something, I'll be sure to show you, and we'll be back soon. Hey guys, we're back. So Pete had to leave. He went to go find an adapter for the torque wrench because we had a 1/2-inch socket drive. That was the only socket we had that was deep enough to get the spark plugs. But we have a 3/4-inch drive for the torque wrench, so we're gonna go get one of those here in a few minutes. There's a Harbor Freight or a whatever right down the road. We could just get a cheap one. And of course, I live 20 minutes away, and I probably have 5 of them there. But probably just faster, easier just to go up to the store. It's a couple minutes away. I will take you on that adventure if you guys want to come along quick. But as you see, we have all of them in there. Boom. Down here, and of course it's the exact same thing on the other side. I do want to let you guys know that you need to be careful. Make sure that you have that copper washer. One side of the copper washer has like a bevel on it, I guess you would call it, and you need to make sure that that's facing the right direction. Of course, you want to check your service manual for your application of the airplane. I'm sure most of them are the same. So that's the next step. We're going to torque these things down. I am going to try to replace some of the scat tubing I have some in the back of my truck. I do want to show you guys what the spark plugs look like, and I do have them marked so we can do some further analysis because I think we're going to need to. I don't have a borescope here with me, but we're definitely going to get some stuff checked out. So here are the spark plugs that came out here. You see some of them, well, this one is wet, and that is the bottom of the left side. They're not overly brutal. There are a couple. This was the bottom of one of the left sides as well, or excuse me, the right side. This was another one that was on the bottom. So some of them are wet. I'm not sure how the focus is if you guys can see that or not. And we have some more here. Most of these are what they call footballed out. You can see that right here, they're kind of oblong, and that is a good indication that you need new spark plugs. So definitely make sure that when you're changing your spark plugs that you have feeler gauges and a no-go gauge for your new spark plugs to make sure that they're gapped correctly. They should come out of the box gap pretty close, but it doesn't hurt to double check. It takes 10 seconds to make sure that you have it. And the cool thing about these Tempest spark plugs is right here on the label, it does say what the gap, let's see if we can get that to focus, what the gap should be. Now, obviously, you want to check your service manual to make sure that that number is accurate and everything. And I did check the service manual. That is the same gap that it calls for. So we should be good there. Another thing I noticed that people tend to do is when they take these caps, these leads, P leads, and put them on, they just use a wrench to spin this nut, and then what happens is it twists the wire. So what you really want to do is make sure that you have a wrench for this top one and a wrench for the bottom one, so you can hold this still so you're not spinning these wires up. Wires for magnetos can be a bit pricey and stuff like that, so you don't want to ruin them. Just make sure you take your time and make sure that you're not cross-threading the spark plugs into the cylinders, because let me tell you, once you do that, I can only imagine the repair cost. If not, you're going to have to replace the cylinder. Plus, if you have to rethread those things out, you're going to get metal shavings down there, and God only knows where they're going to go. And as you all know, these bad boys are expensive. So make sure you take your time and you do that. We're going to keep going. So big reveal's coming in a minute. I think we're going to pull this cover off, or at least we're going to pull it part way off. We're going to go inside. I have the door panel kind of already unscrewed and one of the window sills taken apart. The window sill is already back home. I had to clean it up a little bit. Paint and all of that looked like crap. So the vinyl in here, like I was telling you earlier in the video, it's not in great shape. It's not in brutal shape. Piper Comanches came with ashtrays. I do have one ashtray on one side and no ashtray in the other. So we're going to make a little piece of plastic to kind of cover that hole until my AirTech interior comes. The other thing is the vents. They're made of a really thin plastic material, and the airplane's over 60 years old. They're brittle. When I had a passenger come out of the airplane, he broke it off. So I'm going to make another cover. I have a little round piece of carbon fiber that I cut with a hole saw that I'm just going to kind of put there for now just to block that vent hole, because we are in New England and it's freezing out here. So just small measures that we're going to take just to clean it up, just to make it a little bit more comfortable for that passenger. We do have cabin heat, but you know, when you have cold air blowing in at you all the time, it can be a little bit miserable. So that's what we're going to do. The dog's out here running around chasing the ball. She never stops. I'll see you in a few, guys. The big reveal is coming. I know you guys have all been dying to see the inside. Hold your breath. It is a 1959 Comanche. So we got this cover. We just got to peel back a little bit. I don't want to unbutton it all because unfortunately can't fly today because the wind is absolutely obnoxious. So we're going to open her up. They want you guys to come on inside. Like I said, I did already start pulling this panel apart. There she is, ladies and gentlemen. A 1959 panel. We are eventually going to do a lot of work to this panel, and hopefully you guys come and take that journey with me. So this is the door panel. As you can see, it is faded. There are some things missing. I did pull the handle off. I do need to take this off. That's going to be what we're doing. I did take all the screws off already, and the sill that holds the window in. We're going to clean all of this up before we put it back together, and we're going to take, and I think we're going to use either some Dupa vinyl cover paint, or I think I have some REM at home that is designed to repaint these, bring them back to life, make them look a little bit better. Like I said, it is just until I wait for that lead time. I like to tinker and I like to do small things, and I don't have a lot of patience to wait, but unfortunately I am at the mercy of AirTech and all of that good stuff. And when you own an airplane, all you think about is airplanes, so why not play with your airplane, right? Especially on days you can't fly. So hopefully I will get some flying videos up soon, this weather ever lets us go. And stay tuned, we're going to take this apart. So we're back here. I did get that piece for the torque wrench, but I'm not sure the torque wrench has been calibrated correctly. It's kind of old, and when I put it on the spark plug, it seemed like I was really over tightening it, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to wait. Pete should be coming back hopefully with a calibrated torque wrench so we can make sure that it's done properly. I'm not willing to risk it. So in the meantime, what I'm going to start doing is changing the scat tubing. Now this piece here was here to here, and I have new scat tubing. I'll show you in a second. This is why you got to change your scat tubing. I don't know if the light, I am out here at the airport, I'm sure the wind noise isn't helping. but the scat tubing is absolutely filthy. I know it's going to get that way, but why not replace it? Scat tubing's not overly expensive. Aesthetically, it looks better, and why not let this thing breathe a little bit better? This one particularly is going into the exhaust, so of course it's going to be a little extra dirty, but we're going to replace it. So I have some scat tubing right here. We're going to measure this out and cut it and replace it. So let's do that. So it is a real good idea to bring some scissors with you. I did have some. I don't know what I did with them, but we're going to go here like this. And I do have this nifty little knife here. I think I got it at Walmart or whatever. Pretty sharp. Got a couple different blades on it and stuff, you know, for different things. I don't know. You don't really use any of those. Not real practical. Now, obviously, you guys know that there is some wire inside the scat tubing and these little clippers. Where's it at? Normally, I should probably try a different pair. Because that set was not working that great. But a nice sharp knife will get you through there, and maybe we can just kind of bend this. There we go. So it did cut it good enough. This will be the new scat tubing. Let's go over and put it on. So here we are, back here at the airplane. Let's see if we can get this camera to stick. I don't think we can. Can you guys see that all right? We'll double check. I know the angle's a little messed up, but we're going here to here. Pretty simple. Now, what I like to do is take this, bend it inside there a little bit. So that way there, if you're ever inside your engine and your hand gets caught, you don't want it to stab you. Pretty straightforward. Slide that up. Give it a little couple twists. Make sure it's on there all the way. And you can kind of see where the old marks were. Good indication of where it should be. And I like to make sure that when I tighten these back up, that I put the screw in a place where you could easily access it next time. Some people spin these things all kinds of funny, and then you go to try to get it next time and it's all messed up, what have you. So take your time, make sure it's on there. Get the other one, this other clamp on there, like I said. Take the end piece that you cut. Now this one is shaped a little different, so you're going to kind of have to maneuver it a little bit, but slides right on. Stick that there. Loosen this around, slide it back on there. Give it the old tug. Make sure she doesn't come out, and voila. Now, I don't know how well you guys can see this. How much more aesthetically pleasing is that? A clean engine is a happy engine. Small stuff like this really goes a long way. At least in my eyes, it does. That way there, when you go to get your annual or you have any maintenance and stuff like that, if stuff is all dirty and crappy, mechanics really don't like that. You know, it's just kind of like a type moment. I know you guys have all dealt with that. But, yeah, this one. And we got to get down here. But I think to get to that, because if you see what I'm talking about down here, whoever put this piece on, right, made it so the screw to loosen the clamp is underneath here. Same thing with this one. They made it so it's right here at the cowling. Why would you do that? So now you got to take the bottom cowling off, which is not hard, but it's a lot to do. But we're going to try to see if we can maneuver around that and change that, because you can see how disgusting this is. Instead of just replacing it, they wasted their money, and it looks like they put RTV or something on there to kind of patch it up and all of that, and that goes to your air box. You know, I want clean air going to my engine and all of that good stuff. All right, so let's see if we can maneuver this and get this apart without taking this bottom cowling off. If we can't, we'll save it for a later video. Hey guys, welcome back. So a little update. We did get all of the spark plugs torqued down correctly with the P leads back on it. All looks good. I was able to get this scat tubing right here. It was kind of a project, let's say, to get to, but I figured out I could bend my arms and my hands in ways that you're probably not supposed to, but everything is nice and tight. And if you notice that I do have the clamps, so you can get to them with a screwdriver or whatever tool they require without taking this bottom cowling off. Make sure that that stuff is nice and tight. That is for your carb heat, so you don't want that to fall off. Next thing you know, you pull your carb heat and you got nothing heating up your carb. Not typically a huge deal with Comanches, but ice is ice. We don't need that. So I think for today, we're going to call it quits. I will bring you back for another video. I did get that panel off right here. We got that panel off the door. I'm going to bring that home. We'll do that in the shop. Well, I like to call it a shop. I might think about just rebuilding this whole door. I'm not sure. This has some rust and stuff on it. Maybe we can get another piece of aluminum and get it cleaned up. But that'll be for the next video or an upcoming video. It is getting cold out here. My heater that I had helping me warm the area right there. If you guys don't have one of those, you need to buy one. They're great for warming your engine airplane up, and they're great for around the house and the yard. It's not going to heat up the world, but it will heat up the area for you. It runs on kerosene and a couple of batteries, DeWalt batteries. I will put a link in the description below. Listen, I know I rambled a lot, and most of this stuff you guys probably already knew, but there's going to be a whole lot more videos coming. We're going to do a whole bunch of flying. We're going to do some more maintenance. We're going to do some interior work. We're going to do some panel work, all of that cool stuff. So please like, subscribe, hit that notification button for upcoming videos, all of that good stuff. It keeps me motivated. I like checking out the analytics and just checking out the watch time and all of that. It's pretty neat. So like I said, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and come follow me along for more. I will leave a couple links in the description for this DeWalt heater and for this bucket buddy. It's pretty cool to carry your tools around. That way there you don't have stuff construed all over the place. See you in the next video.